Hey guys, Terry here. Hey, we just had our first monthly sewing class with the quilt store that I'm going to in Columbus, Ohio, called Quilt Beginnings. So I learned that nationwide they have reprinted this Tula pink fabric for this class, and Pink Door Fabrics is who created the pattern for the quilt that we're making, and it looks like this. It's going to be beautiful and colorful. And they gave us some videos to watch before class to kind of give us the basics. And then month one, we did this block here and the second block. And I really love it. I think I will always be working on a paper piecing quilt. It's so much fun. The basics are that you have your piece of fabric and a template and a pattern that you're working off of. And the idea is that you cut the fabric out with this template, and you there's a variety of shapes of the templates that makes up the pattern of the quilt. But you are cutting out this piece of fabric, and I'm using one of these mats that turns, so I highly recommend that. And then you are going to place this on your piece of paper. You're going to place this paper on your fabric, on the wrong side of the fabric, and then you are going to use your glue stick, and of course there's a fancy sewing glue stick. This is by Sewline. I'll have links to all the products in my post down below. But the idea is that your pieces come out like this. This is one that I'm currently working on. So I'm sewing these pieces together. So if you see, there's the paper, and then we've glued the fabric, just flipped it over and used the glue stick and glued it on there. Another tip that we learned this month was to use a small hole punch and cut a little hole here for when we are going to remove the piece of paper, but I get ahead of myself. So what you're doing here is you are putting the wrong side, or you're putting the right sides together, and then you are using a very small sewing needle and a small thread to stitch the pieces together. So as I was cutting out the pieces, I keep referring back to the pattern, and when I was in class I had all my pieces laid out like this, but when I came home, of course, they're like this again. So I've seen people use a piece of felt so that they can kind of have these laid out and they'll stick to the piece of felt. But it's not a problem to relay them out. You know, the other option is to just do a little bit at a time. Don't cut it all. I just had a day where I cut them and glued them, and now I'm stitching them together. But I love it. It's something that you can do without a sewing machine. You could just have this, you can have some of your supplies together with you when you're waiting at the doctor's office, or you know, at a kid's game, or just anytime you're sitting and waiting somewhere, or even sitting watching a movie. So I love it. I think I will always have one of these going. Here's how my first block turned out. So I'm currently working on the second one, and they give you plenty of time. We're meeting monthly, and you're doing a couple of blocks each month, but I just love it. Now, what I did learn on my first one, I was using a thicker thread and a thicker needle, and if you can see, you can kind of see some of my stitches. They give you enough fabric that I might remake this, but I'm kind of waiting to see. You know, I figure when you get the quilt together and you've stitched over top of it, you've got your batting and the backing on it, I don't know that someone's going to look at my pieces the way I am. So I'll wait to redo this. I'll see. I'll get the rest of it done and then see how I feel. But I just love doing it. I think it's going to be incredible. Like I said, I bought some Tula Pink size number 10. She calls them big eye needles. They're very thin, they're very small, and thread them. Although they've got a big eye on them, I did get one of these little, this is just the cutest little thing. It threads the needle. You push this through, put the thread on there and pull it back through the needle, and it's also got a place that you can cut the thread. So I thought that was handy and adorable. I've got a little pair of scissors. I've got refills for my pen, although I'm not going through it as fast as I thought it would. I bought a pack here that had, it came with a refill, the pen came with a refill, and then I bought a pack that had 6 of them. So I'm not sure how much more I'll need for the quilt. And then this was a cute little contraption. You can get different colors of the thread that matches the colors of the fabric. Our instructor said that we're mostly going to use gray. It hardly shows up. But for some of the other brighter colors, I bought a couple other colors there. But you can have some other needles threaded ahead of time, and then you've got them ready to go, and this stores them. So this contraption, and I haven't figured it out fully yet, but the idea is that you can have all your needles in there and wind the threads in there, so you can have a bunch of needles ready to go. So that's pretty cute and handy. This was called Dome Threaded Needle Case. So they've got a contraption for everything now. It's crazy. So so those are the supplies. You don't need a lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fabric. They're giving us the fabric. Each quarter we'll get another stack. And right now we've got enough for these 2 blue ones. And then the next month is these pink ones. And the fabric is just beautiful. So so I think it's going to be fun to meet each month, see how everybody's doing, and encourage each other, and encourage everybody to stick with it. If we do the few blocks a month, and then at the end of the year we will be assembling it. So I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been fun so far. We've had one class. At the end of each month we meet and see how everybody's doing. So. Like I said, I'll have links to the products, and I know some people are buying, the fabric is limited, so if you can find it, it's really neat to get the fabric and the book. But I would say that if you have templates, you can really make any kind of shape that you want to with these. You know, you could have it all be triangles, right? And then I've seen people do hexagon quilts. And do it that way. So it's been fun, and I can't wait to see it coming together. So thanks for watching. I like to make card making and scrapbooking and occasionally a quilt video here and there. So subscribe so that you get more tips, and I will talk to you soon. Bye guys.